A new feature in Melodyne 5 is the ability to detect sibilants in recordings and independently isolate sibilants so they're not affected by pitch correction. Sibilants, plural, or sibilant, is a high frequency point in the voice, particularly on S, Sh, and T syllables. So to show your sibilants in Melodyne 5, click up here and go down to Show Sibilants. And you'll see some parts of the blobs now have these vertical lines on them, showing that they've detected sibilants on these parts of the recording. Now, some of these are just breaths in between phrases, but some of these are sibilants in the recording. Let's give this a listen.
Withered by the strain of a living day by day, crushed by the weight of fear, a chosen fate.
So the great thing about Melodyne 5 is you can pitch correct notes that have sibilants in them, and it will only pitch shift the tonal part of the note. It won't pitch shift the sibilants. Prior to Melodyne 5, you couldn't do this. If you shifted a note up or down, any sibilants in that recording would be shifted up as well, which would create additional artifacting and kind of muddy up the consonants in some recordings. Now, in a softer song like this, you may not want the sibilants to be so loud. You may want to tame them down a bit.
A chosen fate.
So there's a special tool for this. It's one of the secondary tools of the amplitude tool, and it's called the Sibilant Balance tool. You can use this to reduce the sibilants on any note or make more out of the sibilants. So as you see, if I pull this down, it pulls down the volume of the sibilants without affecting the volume of the tonal part of the note. And if I pull this up, it'll actually pull down the volume of the tonal part of the note while keeping the full volume of the sibilant. So I'm just going to pull these down just a bit. For a softer song like this, I don't want the sibilants to stand out that much. So let's try that out.
A chosen fate.
Here's one more phrase.
Drowning in this well of despair that I haven't known.
Pull this down a touch, pull this down a bit, and pull this down a bit.
Drowning in this well of despair that I haven't known.
Now you might think, why not just use like a de-esser to pull down the sibilants in a recording? De-essers definitely have their place, and they've been used for a long time for mixing. But the problem with de-essers is they're essentially just a high-frequency compressor. So sometimes de-essers can have an adverse effect on the high-frequency content of a recording, even non-sibilant frequencies. So going through and manually adjusting and rebalancing your sibilants, you get a much more natural result.